Hi, it's Megan. I have long been doing book reviews on my blog, and I just did them in just writing them, but now I'm going to start putting some of them on YouTube. So I already did one, an Elizabeth Gilbert book, and now I'm going to do the second one, and I'm also going to still put my regular review on my blog, but I'm going to add the video too. So the book I have is The Longest Date by Cindy, and I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong, Chupack. So first of all, just to tell you, is it a good book? Yeah, it's a really fun book to read. I like it. Chupack was a writer and executive producer for Sex and the City, and for which she won 3 Golden Globes and an Emmy, which impresses me. And she's now writing a pilot for Fox for The Longest Date. So she'd also done an earlier book, which was I think like the Between Boyfriend, I don't know, something like that. I haven't read it. This book is nonfiction for the most part, and it talks about she starts out in kind of a dry spell romantically, and she's getting up in her 30s, and then she kind of meets this bad boy Ian at a bar, and she doesn't know at the time, but his girlfriend leaves, and then he leaves with her, and they end up having kind of a relationship. And at first she's just thinking, well, bad boy kind of guy, do I want to be in a relationship with someone like that? And then she's thinking, well, I'm kind of not in a relationship, so I may as well give it a shot. And it turns out that they fall in love and they get married. The book starts with her meeting Ian, and then it progresses through the early stages of the marriage and their attempt to have a baby. And as you would expect from someone who worked on and wrote Sex and the City, it's kind of a fun, conversational, wry, humorous look at this world that she's in, which is basically New York and Los Angeles and just being married and what to do. The baby process is a little rough. I'm kind of out of that stage at this point in my life. My kids are a little older, not newly married, but I still thought the book was a fun read. I was reading it when I was waiting. I've never been to a warehouse sale before, and so I actually read most of the book in line for a warehouse sale, which I didn't realize how long those lines are. I will not do that again. It was fun, I guess. So I just was lucky that I had a great, entertaining book, because I found it hard to put down when I was stuck in line. There is one thing I do want to mention which bothered me about the book. To get away with kind of this wry humor, sarcastic, biting, it's tough. And in the book, I think Chupack crosses the line in one area where she's in Thailand and her husband go see this sex show, and she points out that she felt exploited at one point, and I find that offensive, quite frankly, given that most of the girls in those situations are like literal sex prisoners. Some are there willingly, most are not. I've spent a lot of time kind of traveling in Thailand and have talked to some of the girls, so I think she kind of crossed the line in that one area, and I did want to point it out because other people might be offended too, and I was offended. But if you take risks, sometimes, you know what, you're gonna mess up. And I think in that case, it didn't destroy the book. It didn't mean that I didn't like the book, because I did. I really enjoyed it. And I even ended up liking her, which I think is the most important thing in a book like this. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to say about it? I'm curious to see the series. I'm pretty excited about it. And the book, I think it's out January 6th. And that's it. If you have comments, feedback, if you've read the book, I would love to hear. I would also love to hear what you think about me doing these video reviews instead of just doing them on my blog. And I'm going to put a link to I'm going to put my blog URL at the end of this, so you can also go to the blog and read what I basically said here. Thanks. Bye-bye.